Hello internet friends, Chris Masto here. I haven't posted any videos in quite a while and I kind of owe you one. I owe a follow-up on this June oven, which I purchased quite a while ago, and I did put an initial video up of the unboxing and the first try making some toast, I think, and then making some steak. And then people have asked, what do you think about it after some time? And I just figured, since I was going to have myself a Pop-Tart here anyway, maybe as a way, sort of forcing function, to do this video, I would just do the video while I'm making the Pop-Tart, and then you can see how the thing works, and I can talk about how it works and how I feel after, I don't know, what is it, over a year, I guess, maybe. I should have looked up the date before I started this. Anyway, you can look it up, or I'll put it on here, it's not important. The point is, if you don't know, this is the June Intelligent Oven. It is it's a countertop style oven slash toaster slash oven slash toaster, I guess. Oh, well, now it's a dehydrator and slow cooker as well. So it's got a lot of smarts in it. As you saw when I placed the Pop-Tart in the oven, it told me that it was a Pop-Tart. It has a camera in the lid and it recognizes a lot of different foods. So you just put it in there and it goes, hey, you're making a steak or fish or whatever, and it has preset programs. And then you can also put in a temperature probe for certain things so it knows when it's done on the inside. Short answer to how do I feel about it after this time, I think it's great. It is really handy. We mainly make toast and like reheat pizza and stuff. Don't do a lot of heavy cooking in it. That's just kind of our lifestyle and not the fault of the oven. When I have made stuff in it, it does a pretty good job. We had some initial ups and downs with the steak program while they were adjusting it, but kind of like a Tesla car, one of the neat things about this is it gets software updates. So they've actually been able to improve the functionality and add a lot of new functionality since we initially got it. So it's gotten better at some things. They've adjusted the steak program. And they also added some new features where you can air fry, you can dehydrate, and you can slow cook, which are things it didn't do before. So if you have to buy a special basket like for the air frying, but it's kind of cool that they can add these features in. And it's very accurate, it's very fast. What's really impressive is it's totally cool to the touch. They have some amazing insulation in this thing, so it keeps all the heat on the inside. It's got those high-end quartz heating elements. And really, I think it's great. It's for us, it's very handy to have this over here. We do almost all of our cooking in that, as opposed to turning on the big gas oven over there. Almost everything fits in here. It comes with the tray. It's a bit of a non-standard size, so you can't fit a quarter sheet pan in here, unfortunately. But this non-stick pan, which, as you can see, it's getting a little gungy. We do put foil on it when we use it. Some people have had trouble with the coating flaking off of this. These aren't very expensive. They sell replacements for these, and they're not that expensive that you can't just get another one. I have a spare for when this one finally gives it up. And also, oh, look, things about to be done. What's kind of cool here too is you get notifications on your phone. So this pops up on my watch telling me that my cooking is done. Although it's a Pop-Tart, as you know, a little conservative on Pop-Tarts because they can burst into flames. So what's nice is you can walk up and say, hey, I need another 30 seconds to get my Pop-Tart quite right. So it comes with the thing and the rack, and then there are third-party pans that fit in there pretty nicely, which I like as well. And I got the accessories. I got the air fry basket. Honestly, haven't used that very much. So anyway, I should have thought about what I wanted to say before making this video. Be a little more coherent. June oven looks beautiful. It works great. The biggest problem with it originally was just that it's very expensive. I forget what this thing cost when it came out. I want to say like $1,500 or something, which is kind of crazy. Couldn't have been that much. Anyway, expensive. Trying to get that out with one hand is not easy. There's my perfectly cooked Pop-Tart, although you can see the frosting machine was having a bad day at the factory. Now, a couple other things I want to say. Hard to clean. You can see And this is kind of embarrassing to put this on the internet, but our oven is rather filthy at the moment. once in a while I get in there and try to deep clean it. It's, despite the fact that they said it's easy to clean, it's not easy to clean. This stuff here, like, believe me, I've scrubbed that. It just doesn't come off. They have recommended maybe trying some oven cleaner, so I might try that someday, but I didn't want to damage the finish. There's already some scratches on there from me going at it with a sort of plastic scrubber thing. And the glass here, you can take this glass out on this model. I need to mention that as well. I've certainly gone over my 3-minute Pop-Tart time that I wanted to spend talking, but I did want to point out it's a little bit hard to clean. So if you really care about your oven being sparkly and beautiful, especially if you cook things like bacon in it, because basically this is what happens. The bacon spatters all over the place and then cooks onto the sides, and it just doesn't. This is not that I'm a filthy person. If you try to wipe that off, even with like standard cleaners, it just tends not to come off. And I haven't really gone to the trouble of trying more aggressive chemical treatments. It does, of course, you know, this bottom tray comes out. It's got the crumb tray type thing. And then what's neat is another thing they added, they didn't have originally, is, oh, there's a whole, I have no idea what this button does. What does that do? Oh, I guess it's got recipes for Whole Foods stuff, so you can, that's a new one on me. So I guess if you buy your food at Whole Foods, it will actually, it's got pre-programmed cook options. Interesting. They do have in the app, oddly enough, it's a subscription thing you can pay for, but they'll give you recipes built into the app, so you can just do that. You don't need that. You can totally use the built-in programs. You don't have to pay for these. So this is like if it recognizes, I meant to hit meat, if it recognizes these things, you know, you want to cook, I don't know, beef roast. It'll either recognize it or you can choose it by hand, and then it tells you where you're supposed to put it. So you take the food out, let the oven preheat, put the food thermometer in, put it in there, blah, blah, blah. So, and then it'll execute a certain program and go through different temperature cycles and stuff. It's really good at that. Yeah, I started to say cleaning. This is a new thing they added. So I can't clean it now because I just cooked in it. But there'll be a bunch of options in there where you can say, hey, I want to clean the interior, and you select that, and then it'll actually put it into a cleaning mode. So, it'll leave the light on and not time out. And so you can go through different things. And then after you've cleaned it, you can select blow dry, and it'll run the convection fans and dry it out. So they have all these different things to help you out with stuff like that. So that's actually pretty cool. And like I said, all it's been added since we originally got the machine. So now, what I started to say was it came out very expensive. They have a new model. So the version 2 model of this oven, all the same functionality. They've simplified it a little bit. It doesn't have this scale feature, which I thought was kind of cool. It's amazingly accurate. I just put a napkin on top. It'll probably, okay, I shouldn't have gone with a napkin. A couple of napkins. Anyway, the scale is amazingly accurate and sensitive. I have tested it with some calibration weights. So I could see how, if you have this oven sitting on your counter and you're cooking and you just need to weigh something out, you could just set it on top of the oven. This is not in the best place in our house to do that. So I don't use this as a food scale, and I don't really mind that the new model doesn't have the food scale. The other thing it doesn't have, I believe, is the glass on this one is removable. You can press this button and take this whole panel out. It makes it a little bit easier to wash, but you still can't submerge it because it's a 2-pane glass. It's not sealed. So that's not super important. You can live without that. And it's pretty much, and this one has probe connectors on the left and the right side. So you can plug your probe in on either side. Doesn't really matter. The probe reaches. So they simplified that to just have one connector. A couple little things like that. Cost reduced it a bit. And it's a much better deal. And I have to say, at the new price, this oven is kind of a no-brainer. Like if you're in the market for something like this, you just want a new toaster oven, or if you think this would fit into your world, then the June oven is definitely an impressive piece of gadgetry. And as you can see, like I said, they have these new programs on here. So I haven't tried the dehydrate. I only tried the air fry once. Actually reheat and keep warm, I use a lot. Just to put a plate in there, you know, so that the plate's not cold. I keep warm, throw it in for 2 minutes. I'm at the point in my video now where I have babbled for 10 minutes and I'm starting to add progressively less and less information. So that's really what I wanted to say was after having used it for quite a while, the June Intelligent Oven, especially the version 2 oven at the new lower price, is probably worth it. It's definitely worth it to me. And if this one craps out, we'll definitely replace it with the new model. So that's what I have to say. And I'll be back again. Hopefully, won't be as much of a gap between this and the next video. Maybe I'll continue this thing of doing reviews of things that I've had for a while and see how that goes as a thing to do. Until next time, bye-bye.